Well, boys and girls, the embargoes have officially been lifted, and the critics are out there giving their opinions on the Stellar Blade, the much anticipated Stellar Blade, which comes out in just very shortly on the 26th. For all of the rest of us noobs, all the rest of us normal people out there, well, at least all of you normal people out there have a PlayStation 5, because this is an exclusive. And obviously, this is a game that has garnered a lot of controversy over the last few weeks. Since some of the first trailers dropped out, they had a lot of people out there clutching their pearls, going, "Oh, she's too beautiful, she's too attractive. Oh, the male gaze. Oh, the male gaze," and clutching their pearls and just having absolute meltdowns. And of course, we've laughed at them, made fun of them, and of course, the company has said that they are not changing an absolute thing. This Korean-based company is pushing back against this nonsense and saying, yeah, no, we're going with beautiful women, the character people actually enjoy and love. And so far, the critic scores are mostly overall positive so far. So we've got 99 critics over here on Metacritic, but we've got an overall generally favorable score of 82, which is very, very well done. But boys and girls, the access media out there is a little divided, and color us shocked there. Places like IGN and thegamer.com, yes, the spiritual successors to our dear sweet and absolutely reviled and despised Kotaku, are now pushing forward and trying to push this game out of the cultural zeitgeist. They are trying to absolutely roast it and go out against it and calling it boring and sad and all of that other kind of stuff. But boys and girls, that is not the whole story, because places like Screen Rant, would have rumors be told, things are changing behind the scenes, and all places out there, Variety, are praising this game, and they are absolutely loving it. So we're going to check out everybody's different opinions. We're going to roast IGN and the Gamer, because those are things we absolutely love to do, make fun of them, laugh at them, and completely and totally ignore their opinions, because this is a game that is, guess what? It wasn't made for you. So don't play it, boys and girls, over at IGN and the Gamer. This game wasn't made for you. Let those of us that it was made for enjoy it. So if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below, or follow me on whatever platform you are on, because we are everywhere. YouTube, Rumble, X, formerly known as Twitter, and of course, all of the other streaming platforms that we all love and adore, but sometimes we don't speak of. So, boys and girls, Stellar Blade review. Battle Angel Natiba. In his own words, Stellar Blade director Hong Kong is a visualist, not a storyteller, meaning whatever Stellar Blade lacks in its story, he tried to make up for in its gameplay. It's a refreshingly transparent statement, and after playing through Stellar Blade, one I find most accurate. This is a gorgeous action game with excellent character and monster design and exciting combat, and continues to evolve in fun, interesting ways across the 30-hour adventure. Its story, light RPG elements, and the actual substance of its characters, on the other hand, fall well short of the high mark set by its combat. Stellar Blade certainly isn't pristine, and in some spots, it's positively dull, but it's sharp in the areas that matter most. Love how they want to overall say that it's good, which means their Metacritic score on this movie is actually good. But of course, if you go over here to their Twitter account and you see the headline that IGN put on their own very article, Stellar Blade is great in all of the most important ways for an action game, but dull characters, a lackluster story, and several frustrating elements of its RPG mechanics prevent it from soaring along with the best of the genre. So, of course, that's the part that most people are only going to read. Most people actually aren't going to click on the article like we have and actually go into the fact that, no, overall, they're actually saying this is a pretty good game. But, of course, once again, the Gamer has to come in and put their foot in their mouth as always. Stellar Blade's marketing has been all about Eve, but it feels like it's a much ado about nothing. You mean the character you complained about being so beautiful and being only meant for the male gaze? And honestly, when it comes to the IGN French people out there that I'm sure everybody over at the Gamer agreed with, well, clearly made by someone who's never actually seen a real or touched a real woman. So Stellar Blade is confused about the sort of game it wants to be. Protagonist Eve has the styling and special moves of a character action hero. Back in the day, we'd call him hack and slash, but moves too slowly and with too little grace outside of the battle to pull this slick persona off. Then the wave of giant, powerful, and awfully difficult bosses that ask you to parry with expert timing seems makes it more like a Souls burn. Oh, the game's too hard for you, Gamer? I'm sorry. Here's the violin for you. But if it's one of those more simplistic game genre, and the inspiration only extends to the bosses, not the skirmishes or the wider world. Stellar Blade not know what it is, but underneath it all is good, but it's not great. And this identity crisis is the main thing that holds it back. The confusion extends deeper than just sort of the genre box it fits in. Everything about Stellar Blade is conflicted in its execution. Sometimes reviewing games, that's okay. Say a great game in here somewhere. Stellar Blade, there are two, but they cancel each other out far too often. When you look at the narrative, there's a temptation to call Stellar Blade style over substance. You might flurry of bosses who seem in a way convenience rather than with any great purpose. And it loses itself in its both narrative, both messy and predictable. Those are some of the plot twists telegraphed early on with the sort of subtlety you'd expect from a game about the fate of humanity whose central characters are named Eve and Adam. Nier Automata, it ain't. The problem with style over substance is there's more titillating temptation to say, what style? There are moments in Stellar Blade that look great, and the enemies have interesting and oftenly grotesque designs, but Eve seems too much like a passenger. Seen that clip of her cocking her leg to the side and slide down the ladder? You've seen all the personality she displays in the entire game. Oh, yes, of course. The beautiful and stunning, attractive character that everybody was excited to see, except you, who ragged on it. Of course, she's the worst part of the game. She's boring and she's lackluster. Whine some more, gamer. I'm sorry this game was too hard for you. And that having an attractive female in a game, well, you just wanted more substance. That's too boring. She's too one-dimensional for you. Well, fortunately enough for boys and girls, once again, as obviously we've seen from the Metacritic score of 82, there's other people out there that love them. And from all of the places out there, Screen Rant with their headline, Stellar Blade Review, an action-packed marvel. Stellar Blade borrows the right elements from its contemporaries and infuses exhilarating combat to deliver a linear marvel for PlayStation fans. Now, that doesn't sound very much like the IGN article or the Gamer article. Now, does it? Does it? Summary. Stellar Blade excels in combat mechanics, offering exhilarating and challenging encounters with bosses. The narrative might struggle with pacing at times, but is still a worthy experience, whereas you saw IGN and the Gamer completely and totally trash it. Stellar Blade's universe borrows all the right elements from Nier Automata and Souls-like classics. See, they didn't complain about the difficulty level like all those little whiners over at the Gamer did. Aw, break their hearts. I bet you can't wait for Sony PlayStation to come out with that autoplay feature on games. Now can you? And once again, from all of the places that I honestly did not expect to see anything actually talked about this, but apparently Variety's getting into gaming now too, which color us shocked. We've seen the mainstream adapt gaming because it is the largest entertainment industry in the world, drastically outstripping Hollywood and movies and television shows and all of that kind of stuff. It's literally a well over billions of dollars of an industry every single year. So guess what? As Hollywood and movies start to fail and go the way of the dinosaurs, at least mainstream Hollywood, Variety is now going to move into the gaming center to hopefully garner some of you out there. Stellar Blade is a stylish, sexy action-adventure video game review by Katsy Stefan. What do you want to bet Katsy's a chick? What do you want to bet? What do we got over here? Who wrote this one? Asha Bala. Aksha Bala? I don't know. That could go either way. This one over here. What's this one written by? Oh, they don't even put a name on this one. They don't even want to admit who wrote this review all the way down to the bottom. And they still give it 4.5 stars out of 5, even with all the roasting they're doing in there. And this one, of course, over here, written by our dear sweet Mitchell Saltzman. Jurassica Rabbit. Oh, that's not weird or creepy at all. But literally, Variety's coming out here and saying this. Seoul-based developer Shift Up's latest game, Stellar Blade, has gotten a lot of attention in the months leading up to its release. While some folks online have certainly shared their excitement for the combat mechanics and story, a much more vocal group has honed in on one particular selling point, the game's hero, Eve, who is extraordinarily well endowed in her chest and backside. Eve's generous assets have given way to a myriad of memes and an endless supply of Reddit threads about the game's extra bouncy, jiggly physics. While Eve's allure may be a key draw for the games, sex sells after all. Thank you! Someone who actually understands the market and how this works. Shout out to Variety for hiring this person and having them write this article. Stellar Blade has far more to offer than its protagonist's physique. Stellar Blade is set on a desolate Earth in the future, following airborne squad member Eve as she sets out to fulfill her life's purpose, destroying the Natiba, the malevolent force of insect-like monsters that have devastated the planet. Yes, we get to kill bugs! She's flanked by two companions, Adam, a survivor who leads Eve to humanity's last city of Zion, and Lily, an exuberant youthful engineer. Adam's a little lacking in personality, but Lily more than makes up for it in her endless charm. So it just goes on a lengthy tutorial. The plot often doesn't make complete sense, left intentionally vague to build intrigue as Eve discovers the truth about her world. Unfortunately, it builds up to a reveal that ultimately doesn't pay off well enough. Maybe there'll be a sequel. That said, there's still plenty to love here. The combat system, though unforgiving and oftentimes quite challenging, is incredibly rewarding. Oh, look at this. A video game journalist reviewing a video game and not complaining that the game was too hard for him. Boys and girls, times they are a-changin'. Learning how to precisely time perfect parries and dodges is the key to keeping Eve alive and vanquishing foes. Weird. She's complimenting that, yet the gamer was just complaining about that. Get good, gamer. Get good. With the much of her branching skills tree built around elevating those two simple moves. Difficult battles can be proved to be immensely frustrating at times due to largely the game's nonsensical mechanic of depleting any used ammo and consumable before reviving. After losing a fight several times, it's hard to pill swallow when there's no ammo remaining, making a tough battle even tougher. Once the sparring is over, there's a world of collectible goodies for Eve to discover. Early in the game, she finds an old soda can, yada, yada, yada. There's a whole bunch of more stuff. I don't want to spoil the game for you. They give it an 8 out of 10, much like a lot of other people's have, which comes to the Metacritic score. I mean, basically, that all adds up to this 82 overall Metacritic score. But it's just so funny how certain websites will taint their articles, taint their headlines, coming out and trying to trash a game where at the end of the day, they still had to give it like an 8.5, or in some cases like a 4.5 stars, equal out to end up being an 82 Metacritic score. That's why all of this stuff is nonsense, right? All of this blustering, all of this BS, all of the headlines that they put out there going, oh, you're misogynistic, Dave was just made for the male gaze, yada, yada, yada. It's all BS. It's all nonsense. It's all posturing. It's all virtue signaling. It's just more woke garbage nonsense talking points out there. They all loved the game. They all had a good time, and I guarantee you every single one of them sounds like, including the female that reviewed the game over for Variety, absolutely loved the jiggle physics. Absolutely loved that you get to watch a stunning and gorgeous protagonist while you go through and play this game. And guess what, boys and girls? She's right. Sex sells. And until IGN and Gamer decide to pull their heads out of their rear ends, they're going to continue to fail. They're going to continue to get roasted. And if they don't stop, they're going to go the way that Dono did and the way so many other video game journalists have gone as well. And it'll be very, very well deserved.